Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. I'm Roberto and I'll be your guide. Today we'll be diving deep into the world of WordPress to learn how to clone and migrate your website manually. No fuss, no unnecessary plugins, just a clear step-by-step process. So whether you're moving into a new domain or just creating a backup clone, by the end of this video, you'll have all the knowledge and tools you need. This is about a 20-minute video. In today's tutorial, I'll demonstrate the process of using SiteGround as our hosting choice. However, remember this method is compatible with the file managers of most of the hosting companies out there. We'll be working with a brand new domain name that I've recently acquired from GoDaddy, plus we'll harness the robust advantages of Cloudflare, including the SSL firewall features. Ready to dive in? Let's go do it. Today, I'll be cloning the website Il d'Emploi, which is a multilingual WordPress website, French, English, and Spanish. And I'll be creating a brand new one that we're going to rebrand Nova Resources. And it's going to work exactly the same. So if you're ready, let's get started. So let's start by backing up the original WordPress site using SiteGround's site file manager. So into your SiteGround account, you're going to come and find File Manager. And the first thing we will do is open here the public HTML folder. We will select everything except the well-known folder, which is for the SSL certificate. So let's click the first one here, the first folder, scroll down, holding the Shift key. It will select everything, right-click, and select Archive. Let's give our website an archive name. So this will be Il d'Emploi.zip. And I will click Confirm. And once the website is compressed, we will find our file and we will download it to our computer. So we get a success. So let's now try to find our new file. So it is here. So I didn't need to put the zip, so it renamed it. I'm just going to rename this zip. So il-d'emploi.zip. I will confirm it. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this file. So right click and click download. So it's going to download it to my computer. So this is the first step. So we have the website and all the files. The next step we need to do is go export our MySQL database. In this case, I only have one, so I will click my phpMyAdmin and access it from here. And what I will do, I will select my database here on the left, and I will go into the export tab, and I will do a quick export. Which format? Now I will go into custom. I'll make sure everything here is selected, and it is. And as my output here, I'm going to select JZip compression just because the file size will be really smaller. So it's going to be a lot faster to import on the new website. So we got our first step. So our database is downloaded and our website files are downloaded also. So next step, we will go into GoDaddy, select our new domain and point it to our Cloudflare account. So inside GoDaddy, I'm going to find the domain name that I want to use, which is called Nova Resources. So this is the one. I'm going to click on it. And by the way, this is not a course on how to buy a domain name on GoDaddy or anything like that. So I'm not going to show you how to do this. This is only to show you how to change and point the DNS from a domain name to Cloudflare. So inside of GoDaddy, you're going to click your DNS tab here. And you're going to select name servers, and we're going to go change the name server for Nova Resources. So I'm going to select this to be sure I won't make any mistake. And I'm going to say I'm going to use my own name servers. So same thing here inside of Cloudflare. It's not a course about Cloudflare, but I'm going to show you how to add a new domain name inside of Cloudflare in your account and how to connect it. So step 1 of 3, we're going to use the free plan. And here are the core features. This is why I'm using it. It's a global CDN, universal SSL certificate, free management rules, easy to use DNS and everything. There's a lot of good reasons to use Cloudflare. It's going to filter your traffic and a lot more. This, like I said, it's not a Cloudflare course also. So it's telling me to check for the DNS. Are these right? For now, I'm just going to say yes, and we're going to change these as soon as we create the new entries on SiteGround. So let's just click continue. What we want to do is use and select the new name servers here that we're going to put inside of GoDaddy. So here are my 2 new name servers, and I'm going to say save. So the first step is changing the name servers from GoDaddy to Cloudflare. So we're going to manage our DNS inside of Cloudflare. So this is done inside of GoDaddy. I can close GoDaddy. No more steps are needed from me from there. The next step, it can take up to 24 hours. Yes, this is true. Usually it's going to take maybe 10 minutes. Maximum an hour. So I'm just going to say done and check name server. While it's checking if the GoDaddy is pointing the domain name on Cloudflare, we're just going to set up some quick rules here. So let's get started. We want to use automatic HTTPS rewrites. So this is having a SSL certificate for free. We always want to use HTTPS, so all the requests with HTTP are going to be redirected to HTTPS. We want to optimize performance, so it's gonna, like it's saying, speed up page load time for your visitors' HTTPS traffic by applying body compression. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use it, and I'm gonna click finish. So for now, probably it's still not pointing. We will receive an email once it is. But in the meantime, I'm going to set up the new website on another account that I have with SiteGround. So let's go to our SiteGround account and let's click create a new website. What we're going to do is we're going to say we want to use an existing domain name because I do have one. So my domain name here is novaresource.com. I will click continue. And what I want to do is start a new website. But not what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to skip and create an empty website. If you select start new website, it's going to ask you what is it? Do you want to install a WordPress, WooCommerce, or anything else? And in this case, we already have our files and database. So I'm just going to skip it and create an empty website. So let's click finish. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go get the website IP address, and we're going to go set up our Cloudflare account to point the DNS for the new domain name to this server. So let's select Site Tools, and what we're going to do is here under IP and server name, we're going to take the IP address for our new website. We're going to go open our Cloudflare page and let's go into the DNS settings, and we will now point our new settings here, our A record, to this new IP address. This one I see is a duplicate, so I'm just going to delete this one. We don't need it. And our www is pointing to our A record. So this is all we need for now. One last thing inside of Cloudflare, since I'm going to be using the SSL certificate that comes with SiteGround, we need to keep our setting here to full. If it changes, we'll come back and set it up to full. So now that we have changed this, we can go to our site here in File Manager, and what we're going to do is inside our public HTML folder, we are now going to upload the zip file that we downloaded from the first one. So let's add a file, file upload, and let's select the zip file that we created before. On SiteGround, while this is uploading, I can do other things. I'm not sure this is the case with all the file managers on all the servers, but with SiteGround, yes. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go create a new MySQL database. So I'm going to create a database, and I'm going to change the name and the user and password after I finish this video, so you guys don't have it. But for the purpose of the video, I'm going to create a new one right now to show you how to do this. So I'm going to store this database name. Then we're going to go into user and create a user. And we're going to manage this user and password. So I'm going to manage the access for my database. I select the database that we created, and we're going to give it all the privileges. So once this is done, I can go into phpMyAdmin and access phpMyAdmin. And I'm going to select the new database that we created, and let's import the JZip file that we created before. So I selected it. And now I'm just going to give it a go here, upload this file, and if everything works fine, we're going to have a nice little message saying success. It should work because I exported from SiteGround to SiteGround, so usually it keeps the same format. It happens sometimes that from another server to SiteGround, things don't work out properly. If you ever have these problems, maybe just send me a message and I'll help you troubleshoot these. So here we go. Import has successfully finished, 886 queries. So we see everything here. All my tables seems to be there. So let's close this now. And let's go back to the file manager, and I see it's still uploading. So I'll pause my video until this finishes. So here we go. The zip file was successfully uploaded. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete this default HTML file. We won't be needing it. Now I will right click and extract all the files. It's going to create a new folder called Il d'Emploi, the name of my zip file, with all my files from WordPress. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here inside, and I'm going to select all the files the same way we did before. So selecting the first one, holding the shift key, and now I'm going to drag all these files into my public HTML folder here. There's no indication it's working, but it is. So here we go, success, everything was moved. So I'll go back to my public HTML. I will now delete my Il d'Emploi and Il d'Emploi zip file. We don't need these anymore. I prefer also erasing or deleting my PHP error log, my license, and README files. These have information about my WordPress installation, so usually I delete these. I don't want them. The error log will be recreated if there's errors on this website. So the next step now is to open the WP config file. And what we're going to do right now is, if I go to the URL Nova Resource right now, I should be getting a message that says that it cannot connect to the database. So error establishing a database connection. So why is this? It's because it's trying to connect to the old database. So if we go back to our site tools and we go to our file manager and open our WP config file, here we have the information about the database. So I'm going to change these with the ones that we created earlier. So let me just paste the database name and then the user and then the password. But before I do save, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go search for WordPress site URL. Because right now the database is pointing to the old URL, which is il d'emploi, and I wanted to point to the new one. So what we're going to do, we're going to take these 2 lines of code here, and we are going to add them inside our WP config file. And what we're going to do, we're just going to put our new URL here, so at least the home page will point to the right website. So once I have done this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the save button, Command S or Control S on Windows. And now I'm going to go back to my database here, and I'm going to my website, and I'm going to refresh this page. And now I should be connected to my new database. So up to now it works, but the problem is probably there's a tons of URL that are hard-coded in the database with the old URL il d'emploi, and I want them to become Nova resources. All right. So what I'm going to do, if I hover, for now, it seems to be okay. All of these, they seem to point to stay on the new website with the new URL, but I'm absolutely sure that some places, some string have been hard-coded with the old URL. So what we're going to do now, if you know the username and password for your WordPress website, you're just going to log in. I don't know them, I don't have them, but SiteGround has a really cool tool. So if I come into WordPress and I come into install and manage, I don't have any WordPress installation. Well, actually, SiteGround doesn't know I have one because I installed the website from scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here, add existing site, and it's going to add my WordPress website now. So I can just auto log in from here, not needing to know my username and password. So let's just wait for this to happen. Page not found. Oh, okay. So what's happening here? Let me just go see my file manager. Do I have an htaccess? I do. Okay, my htaccess has old modules from the old website. Since I didn't install the SG Optimizer plugin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove everything here and just let the default WordPress message, just Control S on this. Let me now close this URL. Okay, I do see my website admin now, if I'm not mistaken. So if I come here and I try to log in, here we go. Now it's working. So what we're going to do now, we're going to install a plugin. So let's go to extensions, not a plugin, but an extension. Oh, just before, I'm just going to come back here. It's telling me the URL change. So this is a new version with a newer URL. So it's going to change. And it's just asking me to confirm that the URL changed. So that's for WPML, which is the plugin for the multilingual. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into extensions and I'm going to add a new extension. And this extension is called better search and replace. So let's look for this one. This is the one. I'm going to install it and activate it. And now I'm going to come under my tools here. By the way, the website I just realized is in French, so I'm just going to put it in English so everybody understands here. So, like I said, no, it's not in English. Let's go to users. So this is my user, and I'm going to ask to see the website language in English. All right, so now we're going to go into tools here, and we have better search and replace. And what we want to do is we're going to search for our old URL and replace it with the new one. So the old URL was Il d'Emploi. And just to make sure, I'm going to open it. So I'm going to come here, and what I'm going to say is search for ildemploi.com and replace it with Nova Resources, and I'm going to select the tables in which I want the search. Here I have checked run as a dry run. This means it's going to simulate. It's going to search in my tables and simulate, and it's not really going to change anything. It's just going to tell me and show me if it finds some strings that need to be changed. So as I said before, I'm pretty sure there's a ton of them. So here we see 51 tables were searched and 1,244 cells were found. So there really is 1,244 cells that need to be changed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck dry run, and now it's going to do it for real. So there we go. Cells in 1,100 updates were made. So everything now should be working. We should have our new URL. The last thing that we want to do is go back under plugins and remove this plugin here. We really don't want to keep this active, and we're actually going to delete it just to make sure for security reasons. So this is it. My website should now be working. I'm just going to go change my name here under my general settings. And now I can remove the WordPress URL and site address that I had added inside of my WP config file. So let me close this. Let's go into, I can remove these two. We don't need them anymore. So save this, and that's it. My new website should now work under Nova Resources, and everything should work fine. I can test my website, go through every page and make sure that everything was duplicated. So if you have any more questions, just leave me a comment in this video. If this was helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you in the next WordPress video. Thank you.